Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video of Fox Flicks on Dead Meat. Today we're checking out the kill count of the 1998 movie Deep Rising. I almost said Dead Rising, that's a video game franchise. Anyway, let's dig in and see what James A. Janice was able to count up this time.
Welcome to the kill count, where we tally up
Oh, it's not James, it's Zora. Hey man, it's great to see ya.
victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm Soren, really more tentacles Gavoyich, and today we're looking at Deep Rising,
Come on.
a movie that dares to ask, what if Speed 2 had a tentacle monster? Deep Rising is a dumb, fun, 50s-style B-monster movie, and it was released in 1998 among a surge of similar films like Anaconda, Lake Placid, and The Relic. The movie's dumb, but I absolutely love it. Unfortunately, the 90s film-going audience did not. The movie only made
I mean, yeah, you even said it was a B movie and it had many others that were kind of better, because even I remember Lake Placid and I'm barely over 20.
$7.5 million against a budget of $45 million, making it a bigger bomb than any of its on-screen explosions. Part of its failure was due to timing. The need for extensive behind-the-scenes effects work delayed the release for over a year, causing it to open just 3 weeks after Titanic.
And the last thing the world wanted to see was yet another cruise ship disaster.
And critics weren't kind to it either, saying it borrowed too heavily from other films like Aliens, Predator, and Jurassic Park. It even made it onto Siskel and Ebert's Worst of 1998 list. Deep Rising was written and directed by Stephen Sommers, who would find much greater success the following year with The Mummy. This high-seas adventure, originally titled Tentacle, features a lot of recognizable actors.
It was really just called Tentacle for a while? Huh. Maybe they would have had better luck if they just named it Tentacle.
Treat Williams from The Phantom, X-Men's Famke Janssen, and Kevin J. O'Connor, who Sommers would cast again as Benny in The Mummy.
He's a really fun director to work with, and he's like an amusement park exploding.
As for its monsters, Deep Rising is kind of old school, keeping its creatures hidden for most of the film. But when they finally do appear, they're rendered in CGI that still holds up, thanks to effects work by DreamQuest Images and Industrial Light and Magic. Yes, the George Lucas company that did effects for Star Wars and Jurassic Park. Deep Rising follows John Finney Finnegan as he's hired by a group of mercenaries planning to hijack a cruise liner. Once on board, they find the ship destroyed, the crew and passengers missing, and something sinister rising from the deep.
Imagine that, it's like 3, 2, 1, bust in, go, go, go. Wait a minute, there's no one here. What the hell? This is meant to have like 2,000 people, and yet there's not even a shoe. It's like, excuse me?
Joined by a thieving love interest named Trillian and his not Tom Noonan sidekick Joey, the lovable scoundrels try to survive by shooting guns, making quips.
This is turning out to be one hell of a day.
And, shooting even more guns.
Gun, quit, and gun.
Hello? Hello, am I coming in clearly? Oh, okay, good. James won't let me go pantsless on the new set. So I had to get this secret message out to my pantsless proponents out there. And if there's one company that wants you to look your best,
this is gonna be an ad about Manscaped, isn't it? Well, we're gonna cut and we're back. Moving on.
How many tentacles will we get from these tentacles? Let's find out and get to the kills.
Okay, that was a good pun.
The movie begins with a little light bathroom reading,
I'll give you
but it's hard to get through it all when this Jerry Goldsmith score keeps knocking on the door. I'll be out in a minute, Jerry! Call! A fish-eyed fish of some kind takes us Jaws style into a title card.
Title card.
And now we're on a boat that looks like it got most of its equipment from a Nostromo fire sale. Its captain is John Finney Finnegan, who loves playing video poker and working on catchphrases.
Now what?
I'm sure he'll land on something better. Maybe. Finney's played by the criminally underrated Treat Williams, who I affectionately refer to as T-Bill. T-Bill, or should I say Finnegan's crew, consists of the mechanic Joey Panucci and his girlfriend Layla, who's played by Una Damon, who my wife tells me was in Charmed, and, not much else. They've been hired by a man named Hanover, played by seasoned Cherokee Nation actor Wes Studi.
I'd have to ask my little sister about that, because I never watched Charm. I was never a fan of it.
Sphinx of a man leads a group of mystery mercenaries that include Mulligan, Mamuli, Mason, T-Ray, Vivo, and Billy. Yep, just Billy. Most of these mercs are certified kill count veterans, too. There's Trevor Goddard, who played Kano in the horror-adjacent Mortal Kombat. Clifton Powell, who is Jaybird, getting dead-dunked in Bones. Jason Fleming, the Santa fraud who fucked with Chucky's mind. Cliff Curtis, who was best bro Billy Freeman in Dr. Sleep. And Jaimin Hansu, who was Man on Island in A Quiet Place 2.
Classic.
Exactly. They compare the sizes of their weapons, with Joey proving his is the biggest. That is until he opens a case to see what they're really packing. And whoo boy, are they overcompensating. Vivo discovers Joey peeping at their manly missiles, which leads to a Benny beatdown. And
first of all, even if you do find a missile, why is your first instinct to start pushing it? You do not lay hands on a seemingly armed bomb.
Despite a bunch of padding, this was more real than actor Kevin J. O'Connor would have liked.
One of the younger actors was a little overexcited and was kicking me. I had wells. Everything was black and blue.
Finnegan fires some critter quills against the wall, stopping the fight with a few testosterone groans and grumbles from the mercs. The mercenaries have hired Finnegan and co. to take them to an undisclosed location in the South China Sea.
Middle of nowhere squared.
Turns out that's the perfect location for a fucking epic boat party!
Woo! Yeah!
There were 450 extras in this scene, playing passengers, fire jugglers, Chinese dragons, Willie Scott waitresses, and all sorts of other cultural appropriations. Even the boom mic operator shows up for the maiden voyage of the largest ship not to have its own Celine Dion song. And what's that ship's name?
The Argonautica!
Who, Buttica?
The Argonautica!
Got it. The Boobs and Buttica is owned by Simon...
No, he was said up. Okay, hold on. We got an ad. Well, back. And I guess it really doesn't matter that the name of the ship is the Argonautica. Because, wow, that is actually a really difficult thing to say. Argonautica. Moving on.
Simon Canton, an incredibly wealthy asshole who welcomes his incredibly wealthy guests aboard. One of his non-rich guests is a stowaway named Trillian St. James, a name writer-director Stephen Sommers admits he took from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Of course.
Trillian is directed not to look at the camera until she takes a drink of some Santana champ, because it's so crisp. Originally, Claire Forlani from Mallrats was cast as Trillian, but she left 3 days into filming due to creative differences with Sommers. She was quickly replaced by Famke Janssen, who had recently played Thigh Master Assassin Xena Onatopp in GoldenEye. Trillian takes her drink with an Oliver Twist and picks a pocket or two of the ship's captain. It gets her a key card, but nothing else. Not even an Outback Steakhouse coupon. Boo!
That sucks.
Trillian uses the key card to break into a locker near the Harry Potter ride. But when she tries to nip a necklace and tuck it away, she's found and arrested by Canton and Captain Atherton. With no brig, they stow her in the prison fridge with the rest of the criminal veggies. While Trillian acts like Homer ignoring monsters in the shinning, a mysterious figure loads the Hobbit trilogy into the ship's computer.
Oh, yeah. I actually get that reference. He was just eating away and the monster's like, hey, Homo, we need you to kill your family. He's like, can't talk, eating. And then they just dragged him out because he wouldn't do the damn job. I'm sorry. That was honestly my first ever watch of The Simpsons, and I still find it hilarious to this day. I love Treehouse of Horror 5.
But nobody's gonna watch that shit, so the ship shuts down, and the crew panics until they're attacked from the rising deep. An absolutely epic stunt sequence follows, as 100% of the 1% are tossed around like ragdolls. Many a stunt performer leaps over ledges while other folks go through glass and tables. What's that called, James?
By God.
By God!
By
Nothing
God!
really looks like a fatal injury for the Count. Oh, except for this old man, who I guess died of consumption, judging by the hand blood. As a produce prison riot breaks out, fuck you, cabbage! Another passenger can't hold it in. Oh, when you gotta go, you gotta go. And much like Gennaro, the can can't save her can, as she's grabbed by the ghoulies and flushed onto the Count with an off-screen blood splash.
Damn.
Someone tell Cousin Eddie the shitter's full. A dock speedboat tries to save itself and make a getaway, but it ends up becoming an obstacle for Finnegan and his ecto goggles. Unfortunately, the goggles do nothing to stop the boats from colliding in a ridiculously large explosion. Why? Why was that boat filled with C4? Anyway, their ship is now leaking fuel and just all kinds of messed up. But Layla Darling's there to ease their worried minds.
I'm surprised they didn't have a clip of someone yelling, And we got 7 degrees of fucked over here. 7 degrees of fucked. I don't know where that's from, but that is a damn good catchphrase. I gotta remember to use that for like a game.
And when she spots, the Argo was an Affleck Filmica! Whew, glad everything worked out for them.
We'll take over from here.
Well, fuck butts. We've entered mercenary mode, but with no hunk around, Hanover takes Finnegan and Joey with most of his men to investigate the cruise ship, leaving Layla on the boat with Billy. Just Billy. The men make their way to the ballroom and
Just
discover
Billy.
it's empty, except for...
We got blood here. We got blood here too, mate.
But no bodies. So I'll let Editor Josh keep sleeping. For now. Look at that old cutie. A nearby
Aw.
elevator starts moving, prompting another catchphrase attempt from Finnegan.
I got a really bad feeling about this.
Alright, you're not even trying to hide
Could
it.
the guy give some freaking emotion, please? He could honestly just say it more like, I'm getting a bad feeling about this, guys. It's just something that's not, I got a bad feeling. It's like, come on.
Anymore. Obviously, Finney is a blatant Han Solo type. Their ships are even described the same way.
Maybe I can fix this hunk of junk.
What a piece of junk!
In fact, Harrison Ford was originally
I get
cast
it.
as Finnegan, with Jim Carrey set to play his non-Wookiee sidekick Joey. But Ford dropped out to do Air Force One instead, robbing us from hearing him yell, "Get off my boat!" The doors open to
Damn.
reveal nothing. Great. So they might as well just grab what they can before...
Guys! It's a firewall.
Oh, I love you, Critical Bill. These very not real M1L1 triple pulse assault rifles were built on Calico M955A submachine guns. Their rotating barrels didn't function, but spun when the trigger was pulled, giving the illusion the weapon was firing through them. And somehow my steel-trap
enough.
brain remembers these guns making a cameo in Leslie Nielsen's Wrongfully Accused. Which reminds me, I wonder if I can kill Count Dracula dead and loving it without James finding out.
No.
Ow!
The Merry Mercs continues
Oh, hold on, folks. We got an ad. And we're back. Let's go.
searching the Argonautica, while Billy, just Billy, mans the torpedoes, and Layla womans the boat hole. Whew, it is tough work, especially when you're interrupted by bloated,
the-
naked Ben Gardner-looking corpses. Wait, I'm
Oh.
sorry, did the monster take off this guy's clothes? I mean, the pants I understand, but too much and we're getting into hentai territory. Moving on!
What the-
Layla gets lost in his
Never
Total
mind.
Recall eyes before getting yanked out of the boat hole by our unseen monster, thus concluding her career as a tour guide at Oscorp. In the part shop of the
Not
Rumpelstiltspringer, Mamuli gets drooly over some pasted-up, pastyless porn pics. T-Ray then leaves him and his hard-on to investigate a strange sound, which of course results in an off-screen fatality.
Well, damn
followed
it.
by a friendship when the monster leaves T-Ray's rifle, as well as some Kano bits. Grossy!
Ooh.
Okay, now this does not make any sense. How the hell did the creature come into the room, throw down the gun, and then puke without anyone seeing it?
Shut up.
Okay, but it doesn't.
Just shut
Dude, I don't think we can really question this thing because we have no idea what the hell it is. All we see are tentacles. I mean, that's it. We don't see even a main body.
the fuck up.
Okay, God, sorry. I just expected a little more compassion from the leader of the Metcaina clan, but, you know, maybe the leader of
Metcaina?
the Omaticaya clan will be a little nicer.
You idiot.
Nope, you're all dicks. Trillian escapes and makes her way to the safest place on the boat. The budget expendables then show up to nab her keycard and steal some.
Money, 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 money.
Holy
Oh,
fucking head shit!
shit.
Vivo fails to live up to his name thanks to a full scream ahead attack from Simon Canton. Damn, I liked him.
Shit.
What a Drago. The bloodshed continues when 3 random passengers are gunned down senselessly. Then Hanover radios back to Mamuli, but the formerly walking dad is now being dragged around by a mini megalodon, slamming into pipes and releasing anime levels of high pressure blood. The Fire Lord Ozai is finally extinguished when the monster pulls him off screen and blows Escobar's blood all over. Joey grabs the generic
Damn.
plot parts needed to fix their boat, and they make their escape with a very thing-like floor displacement. And that makes sense because
Ooh.
the second unit director of Deep Rising was Dean freaking Cundy, the cinematographer who shot
Hell yeah.
The Thing, as well as Halloween, Jurassic Park, and Back to the Goddamn Future.
I'm just going to
Awesome.
borrow, not stealing. I'm just going to borrow that idea.
This Chains Market chase was done with a specifically timed hydraulic pump and was scary fun for Kevin J. O'Connor.
Every time my gym shoe would have gotten off that one slap, they pressed a button and it would fly up. So it really made you move.
Trillian makes it to a non-gremlin-infested elevator and tells Joey to shoot. He doesn't listen, nor does the remaining cast. But it's probably because they're all on edge since it's been, 45 minutes and we haven't seen the creature yet. Seriously, can we get a hint of what they are?
Wait, it's been 45 minutes already? Damn, the movie's almost over then. The movie's only like an hour and 46.
Captain, you got anything?
I don't know. How do I know? Never seen anything like it before.
Great. Well, thanks for nothing,
Okay, that's
man
nothing.
who once haunted a painting to warn Sam and Dean about a malevolent ghost. The elevator is then attacked before giving us a brief Muzak moment for the trailer.
What the hell is that? Girl from Ipanema.
And then there was a Girl from Ipanema line, which I
Hold on, folks. I'll be right back. Hey, folks, we're back. Let's continue.
believe his Treat came up with that.
The comedy ends when the Teenage Tower of Terror operator does his job and sends them plummeting down. And then some fucking how, no one dies! Even though the force was enough to blow the door off.
Damn.
I mean, maybe they all just jumped at the last minute? Ooh. That was a jump. They end up in a corridor filled with KY-covered bastard skellies. What's the word, boss man?
I don't know. I guess there are guts there. Count them. I don't care.
Begin the counting.
I'll have 10 passengers to count right now, based on the number of skulls I see in all these various shots. Also, I just love how this one is mid-horror crawl. All this counted carnage also includes a hidden Mickey that special effects makeup artist Stephen Dupuis put in there to entertain the execs at Disney.
I'm not quite sure what they thought of it, but I thought it was pretty funny.
A Terminator Skull Crush sets off another unseen creature attack that has it bend the metal walls in a very cool sequence that took 13 days to film.
That
they
is
escape
cool.
into the accusing kitchen, where Finnegan deduces that Canton is the ship's unseen saboteur. But why would he do this to his own ship?
The insurance. That's what the torpedoes are for.
Yep, turns out this subpar Nautica wasn't exactly a Carnival triumph. The cost to operate it was more than they could make back from ticket sales. Ah, that's basically a metaphor for the movie itself. The boys get fighty, these two get flirty, and Joey gets goopy thanks to our big reveal of the CGI tentacle monster. The tentacle creatures were designed by Rob Bottin, the makeup
Okay, you know what? That actually didn't look too bad.
artist famous for The Thing, RoboCop, and those literal fucking lizards in Fear and Loathing that I see all the time in my dreams. I mean nightmares. I don't dream about sex lizards. Visual effects were handled by DreamQuest Images, Blur Studio, and Banned from the Ranch. ILM was brought in later when DreamQuest was having issues.
It was kind of a 911 call.
All the shots with the creatures were meticulously planned out, sometimes with action figures, sometimes with storyboards, and sometimes with escapees from a Play-Doh fun factory. Our would-be hero doesn't give a damn about all their hard work and just shoots it, causing the release of its fresh catch of the day, a still mostly alive Billy Just Billy.
Oh,
He
good.
must have been snagged when looking for Layla earlier on their boat. To achieve this gnarly effect, molds were made of actor Clint Curtis's body, not to be mistaken with Cliff Curtis, the horny mercenary. The molds were filled with gelatin to create these gooey skin applications. Then, that was all covered with even more goo. And on the last take, Summer shouted,
"Pour the whole bucket onto..."
Pour the whole bucket. Oh my, never mind. He said it for me.
I don't think that's what Rob wanted, but it was too late. We did it, and I think that was the last take.
The result is Billy, just Billy's last take, as he collapses and dies from this immaculate digestion. A CGI bloodbath follows with a couple of practical shots thrown.
Hold on, folks. We'll be right back. We got an... And we're back. Let's go.
For good measure. In fact, this one here was literally just a corrugated tube dragged across the ceiling. And that tube even returns later as a jump scare. The creature sets its snot sight on Finnegan, finally opening its very Tremors 5 through 7 grabber mouth. Okay, seriously, this thing looks like a Predator fuck-to-face hugger. Which, thanks to the internet, probably exists somewhere online. Please do not send me any of those pictures. I'm sorry, are you flashing my Twitter handle on screen right now? Bree! Stop it! Miss Burke then goes to work saving Finny from this massive mesozoan. Finnegan and Trillian run off to find the captain getting yanked through a walkway vagina. They try to help, but it's no use as the captain goes crunch and is engulfed by the predicle. The captain's death wasn't originally so simple in CGI. Rob Bottin's team built a full-size animatronic puppet of actor Derek O'Connor that could be completely crushed by a practical tentacle.
The eyes would bleed, a piece of brain pops out, his ears would bleed, his mouth would bleed. It was a very messy effect.
Unfortunately, the effect worked too well for the executives watching the dailies, who said,
Yeah, that's really cool. We can never show this.
In fact, the studio even tried desperately to edit Deep Rising to a PG-13 rating, but couldn't. The closest they got was a made-for-TV version that's 30 minutes shorter and makes director Stephen Sommers cry, when instead you should be crying about Van Helsing. No good movie. More shooting begets a theory by Canton, who says these creatures are part of the Otoya family.
I think it's pronounced the Anoa'i family.
Get out of here with your wrestling jokes I don't understand! And actually, I wasn't familiar with the Otoya family of creatures, but holy shit, these things are freaky! Ugh, looks like a Rick and Morty plumbus. Gross! Canton then reveals that they don't—
No, that wasn't a plumbus, that was a plum ildo. If you get what I was saying, it's a plum ildo. Moving on.
Actually eat you.
They drink you alive, sucking all the fluids out of a body before excreting the skeletal remains.
Okay.
Fuck. Okay, well, with that disgusting bio lesson complete, they make their way back to Finnegan's boat to repair it with the generic plot parts.
Hey, I'm Crazy Benny with Crazy Benny's Discount Plot Parts. Is your movie stuck? Are your characters in need of motivation to go into a dangerous situation that any sane person would avoid? Then I've got your solution. Just have them search for some generic plot parts. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. Who's it, what's it, and more. You want thingamabobs? Well, we're out of stock till January. I forgot to order more.
Till January? It just turned to May. Hey, so that means you ain't got nothing of a thingamagigs. But do you have whatchamacallits? Maybe a thingamabob. Oh, no,
come on down to Crazy Benny's Discount Plot Parts today, where our innovations become your characters' motivations. Located at the corner of MacGuffin and 3rd.
They're stopped by a flooded passageway, so Finnegan and some others scout ahead to see if it's safe. It is. Cool. But that can't be said back on the other side where the tentacruels are on the move. Swim away! Swim away! A very Alien Resurrection-like underwater chase commences.
Quick, use dive!
And when Mason's unable to jar himself free from the creature, he uses his pinky to arm a space grenade, which blows up himself and the creature. Finnegan wants to keep heading to his boat, but Mulligan wants to hole up here. What about you, Hanover? Oh, your hair's on fire. Cool. Well, don't let that distract you from the tentacle that Mulligan refuses to look at. Just turn around, man. He even fires the gun blindly until it retreats. And a nice stove fire keeps it at bay. So what does the eldest son of the Lord of Stormhold do? He fucking turns off the stove. Which, of course, gets him eaten by a tentacle that comes out of nowhere. Sorry, Summers, no taking a mulligan on that death. We get more random hallway walking as the tentacle blocks everyone's path, sending them towards the bow of the ship. Canton takes a little breather and proves to be a little Nick Naughty as he splits off from the group. Hey dude, why leave? Things can't be that bad at the oh my god!
Shit. What the hell is this?
This is a job for editor Josh.
Oh, guy's got his own motivation. Yeah!
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Turns out the bow has become the bowels, and for some damned reason, the corpses there are all screaming. But hey, it's
if they don't have any tendons to keep it closed, and the mouth just naturally just goes, you know, I mean, that kind of just makes sense. And the tendons are what help keep it closed and keep us moving it. So without that, it just goes, ah. So...
For dramatic effect, these passengers are very, very dead. And overacting like hell. Come on, Denise. Now let's see how many bodies Josh was able to count. No! Deep Rising killed Josh!
Okay, well, first off, don't count Josh. But we did see all those passengers earlier, so I guess they should be counted. I don't know, you said something about a definitive number of extras?
Yes, there were 450.
Okay, all right, use 450 then.
Okay, but what about the crew that we saw like earlier?
Just use 450.
Okay, but then what if we count the previous?
Just use 450.
450, okay?
You heard the man. With 450 extras minus the 16 passengers we already counted, I'm adding 434 passengers, crew, whatever to the count. It's no old Parch Town, but nothing ever will be. The tentacles then prove to be Zenticles by washing away all the hard work of the FX department and chasing our survivors back to the endless ship hallways. They catch up with Canton, who weasels away again. Leaving them high and not so dry. All this water you're seeing
dry.
meant these sets had to be built in a water tank. The professional LA water tank was going to cost $200,000. So, to save money, they built their own in Vancouver. Unfortunately, it ended up rupturing and flooding several blocks, causing over $500,000 in damages.
Oh, damn it.
Sucks to be Summers. Joey and Hanover are chased by some buoys, so Joey grabs a grenade but forgets to arm it.
You idiot! Well, you didn't tell me to do that.
And in order to get realistic water effects for the creature during this chase, ILM...
I'm sorry, but that's dumb. It's like throw this. Who doesn't arm a grenade? And you don't just throw it. You pull the pin, or in this case, you twist the dial and then throw it.
Water elements on a black background. Then CG supervisor Scott Frankel developed a technique for blending the CGI and live-action elements in a realistic manner.
He called it the Bubble Funk program.
That name also led to some fun conversations around the ILM offices.
Anybody that walked into the room that wasn't on the crew would go, "What are they talking about? Bubble Funk and the Big Kaboom? What is that?"
Oh, that's funny. That's what my parents used to say they were doing when, you know, I'd hear weird noises coming from their bedroom. Oh, my parents fucked. They're able to make one calamari go kablooey, but another isn't far behind. Hanover says the only way to slow them down is to feed them.
What are we gonna feed them?
You asshole!
Italian. But before we can find out, Joey hobbles his way to a dumbwaiter to deliver this meal to another floor. And on that floor, Joey finds a gun, as well as Hanover. Dude, are you okay, or are you... Oh, damn! Yeah, they're drinking you alive! Ooh, okay, that looks painful, but not as painful as actually filming this scene.
My back had to bend about almost a 45-degree angle.
Ooh, how do you deal with that for multiple takes?
It was just a matter of acting.
Acting? Brilliant!
Yeah.
Joey doesn't want to see Saget get slurped, so he skedaddles. But not before proving he's the real mercenary, giving Hanover a gun to end his pain, which Hanover makes him immediately regret.
You asshole!
He tries to turn the gun on himself, but that was the last bullet, meaning Hanover's doomed to a plenty dreadful death as the last of the Mohicans gets eaten.
You
Trillian and
asshole.
Trillian make it back to their boat, but he lost the generic plot parts along the way. What was the point? What was the point of all this? Now, how are you going to make it to that island over there on the Deepwater Horizon?
I got a plan!
Ah, music to a Tremors fan's ears. He sends Trillian off to get one of the cruise ship's jet skis, hilariously called a Sea-Doo. But she's stopped by a sea douchebag with a double-barrel flare gun. Why is that a thing? I guess it's for when your ship is extra sinky? Canton wants the jet ski key, but she needs it to get back to Hemlock Grove. So she takes off with dramatic slow-motion flare. Finnegan meets up with Joey on the boat, where they share a moment over the death of his girlfriend Layla. Yeah, that's right, cry it out, O'Connor. She was a cool character, for all of 15 minutes. Finnegan loads up...
Hold on, folks, we'll be right back. And we're back.
...up his boat with torpedoes and sets the autopilot to send it straight into the blah-blah-blahtica. They then see flares, so Finnegan tells Joey to stay with the boat while he finds out where his would-be love interest was taken. He finds Trillian in the ballroom and fires all his bullets at Canton. He misses, allowing Canton to rat scamper away again.
How do you
Before
miss?
he can leave, though, the room begins to shake. Ugh, what now?
Now what?
Oh, right. Sorry. The budget erupts once again with explosions galore, giving way to our final boss encounter. Meet the Octolus. Much like a graboid, the tentacles we've seen were just part of a larger creature. It's been living in the bow and sending its little mouths all over the ship looking for food, combining delivery and takeout in one. The Octolus grabs the substitute, but doesn't kill him for some reason. Instead, it just punches him and brings him in closer, revealing its albino seal-looking face. I guess it somehow learned to respect T-Bill, unlike the rest of Hollywood. But unfortunately, the feeling isn't mutual.
What are you looking at?
Oh, damn.
Treat Williams. Any relation to Ashley J? Finnegan and Trillian escape the tentacle love-in, and back on the boat, a broken window and a gooey beret lead Finnegan to believe Joey is dead. Oh,
Damn it.
Guess you'll have to see him for boat drinks in heaven. He then finds Trillian, and they hop on a sea-dooby-dooby-doo in order to
blow this pop stand.
But after they build up some speed, they find their exit Coctopus blocked. They can't even stop it with a road handy. So they find an alternate route in a chase sequence that took some inventive techniques to actually film. Originally, Summers wanted to use Steadicams to follow the actors through the water, but cinematographer Howard Atherton said there was no way that was gonna work.
The whole thing's top heavy. You got all the weight up top. Your feet are being dragged back all the time by the force of the water. No way you can do it.
His solution was to install a dolly track along the piping in the ceiling, and then hang the camera upside down to follow the actors. When it came down to getting the water displacement for the CGI tentacles, they dragged a metal plate behind the Sea-Doo, which itself was being dragged by a computerized pulley system. While they're busy chasing on the Argonautica, oh, I said it right! Cantor does a Tiny McQuad impression onto Finney's boat. He breaks his leg in the process. And the Boston Public Vice Principal finds that none of the controls work, so all he can do is squirm and squeal. As the boat collides with the pirate noise erotica. Damn it, thought I had it. The resulting explosion finally puts a cork in this master of deceit.
Thank
God.
God.
Oh boy, what an explosion it is! Again, what were these boats filled with? Fucking napalm? Whatever, it's still a thrilling escape and a perfect shot for the movie's poster. This epic explosion was actually done with a miniature ship that blowed up real good. Finnegan and Trillian stutter away towards the island, and once there, all seems well on Finnegan's Isle. That is until Trillian sees something in the water. It's Joey!
Oh.
He's not dead after all. Now, he did die in the original cut of the movie, but test audiences loved his character so much they reshot the ending. In fact, FX House banned from the ranch even digitally added a surfboard to the explosion to explain how he got his bodacious mode of transport.
You'd think it's a minor thing, but it's really important to help tell the story.
Our triangle of survivors don't give in to their sadness when it comes to their new accommodations.
This looks like a nice enough place.
And they quickly learn there be monsters on this island. And not the smoke kind. This epic cliffhanger was shot on the cliffs of Malibu with enhancement by ILM, who used a matte painting and, for the first time ever, computer-assisted motion tracking. Now, a common assumption is that this is Skull Island, and that Summers was developing a reboot of King Kong as his next film. But an interview with cinematographer Howard Atherton cited a different film.
Because Stephen always spoke about his next film, Journey to the Center of the Earth.
That movie never materialized, at least not with Summers attached. Though there is one with his pal, Brendan Fraser. Did our short-term investment in T-Bill net us a ton of interesting kills? Let's find out and get to the...
Numbers.
Now what?
Oh shit!
Oh God, it's got me! It's so horrifying! It's so good!
James, we're gonna get ILM to fix this in post, right?
No, man, we spent all of our money on the award show.
Damn it!
Sorry, Zoran.
Well, 460 people died in Deep Rising. 13 men, 3 women, and 444 unknown, giving us a chart as gray as the gene in this movie.
Oof.
And that makes this the second highest kill count of all time, just behind Dude Bro Party Massacre 3. Now, with a runtime of 106 minutes, that gave us a kill on average every 13.8 seconds. But still, it will never beat Dude Bro. Oh, tentacle! But the old chainsaw for coolest
Not the
kills
glasses.
Billy. Just Billy. His partially digested body is fully horrifying, with a perfect blend of digital and practical effects that have aged well even by today's standards.
Yeah.
Dull Machete for lamest kill goes to Layla. Honestly, I really liked her character, and she deserved better than an off-screen end that made this movie even more of a sausage fest.
I mean, look at
Just
it.
saying something about a movie filled with dick tentacles. And that's it. Deep Rising was released in 1998 and failed to rise to the challenge of that other big boat movie. Next week, I'm going to be covering the Collector franchise, which is 2 movies, so kind of a franchise. But until then, I'm a man who once ate a wasabi duck on a dare, and this has been the Kill Count.
A wasabi
hey everybody, thanks
duck?
for watching Zoran's episode on Deep Rising.
Well, anyway, folks, I think that's what we're going to call it an end for now. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link will be in the description, and I'll see all of you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.